Hello, welcome to my first Rocket League video, and today I'm going to be reacting to the Spring Major. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a good amount of it. I'm not going to be the best guy, I don't think, to really go into a deep dive. I'm going to give some of my thoughts on it. So first little Rocket League video, I'm going to have some gameplay background from the stream I did the other night. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this. It's probably going to be, it's already the Friday after the major, and it's been a long time, so it's been a while, but better late than never. So getting into it, hopefully I'll be able to put pictures up so you guys can see the bracket. But we're gonna go round by round, upper and lower, obviously, or kind of by day, if my brain can comprehend that. I don't know, but we're gonna go through it. So just start with upper round one. G2 took out Gaming Gladiators. I don't think there's a surprise there. Furia didn't really put up that much of a fight against Karm Corp, which they really came out to play in this major. Endpoint, I'm a little surprised they didn't put up a little bit more of a fight, but version 1 came out hot. Definitely the most hated team, though, at this major. Uh, Moist swept Optic. Surprise Optic didn't get a game. A lot of these were just sweeps. I think probably biggest upset of the major might be. I don't. Or is it? I don't know. I'll talk about BDS when we get there. But BDS getting swept by Team Secret. Come on now. That's nuts. That's nuts right there. And Space Station. Oh my gosh, the reverse sweep. This team is like watching. It's just like watching Cleveland sports. It is unbelievable how much they freak you out and ugh. But they survived, and they got FaZe swept Power. I don't think anyone really expected anything much other than that. Team Liquid did get a game on Falcons, but Falcons destroyed them. So I mean, it wasn't day one. There's a lot of sweeps. I think the best, probably top three best series were the Space Station, BDS, and probably Liquid. I don't know. I didn't really watch day one, but I think Falcons coming up and making a statement, and Secret just pulling off a sweep is just probably best. Really, really huge. So I'm gonna get more analytical, I guess you could say, once we get into these lower brackets, because this is when everyone starts to get eliminated. Furia destroy Gaming Gladiators. I think APAC is the worst region, worse than SSA. Where and SSA wasn't even here. Maybe I'm hating on them too much because we haven't really seen SSA yet, but I mean every major they don't really seem to do anything, and it's kind of disappointing. But hopefully they'll start to build. But props to Furia, they move on. Optic took care of Endpoint. Endpoint, I think, was really, really disappointing. Just bad. I don't know how this really affected their. We're gonna also talk about the finals, but I don't know if they made finals or not. I'll have to check back. Team BDS, I think this was just ridiculous. You get swept by the Pioneers. No hate to Pioneers. Pioneers were playing really good, I guess, but I just think BDS. I mean, they're not a LAN team. They won the fall major, but that was with no one there. I don't know if that is just a different environment, but Mark Baye had to sit on the bench for them to do just as bad, if not worse, in this major, which is just embarrassing. Quite honestly, it was. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to bet that they'll come back and they'll be really competitive for the World Championship, but I mean, I am really surprised and shocked by how bad that they performed. It was not what you would expect. I mean, did they play Pioneers close? Yes, but Pioneers came out to do it, and they took care of business. Power really needed this, really needed to just win, and they didn't. Team Liquid came out way better on day 2 and really showed their mechanics. It was nice. It was a good change from what we saw in the first day, where they kind of just weren't there. But super young team. They can't. They're not in the world championship, but they're going to make huge waves. I'm getting a little ahead of myself on them, really talking about their journey, but it's a good team. Power's got nothing really to be ashamed of. They didn't really seem to expect to win, so I think that attitude didn't really help. Lower round. Oh, we gotta get back up to the upper quarterfinals, because that did get played. I don't know what day it was. It might have been this same day. I don't remember the order. But anyways, we're going to go up. G2 got sent down really early. Really disappointing for them. But they did go to 5 with Karm Corp, who, came to play. Obviously, version 1. I mean, this is where I think version 1 got hated the most, is because Calm was talking the most shit. The most. Against Moist. And it was... really showed. Because he was getting booed. It was bad. But, Moist had pretty early sent down to the lower bracket, and that wasn't good for them. Space Station took care of Team Secret. For once they didn't play that like a super close. I don't know how the games were, but like in terms of games total, kept it under 5 or 7. Then FaZe Clan against Team Falcons. Falcons took care of them 3-1. Falcons were good. FaZe Clan got sent down, and then got eliminated by Furia. Lower, round 2. That was these minor regions. All I'm gonna say about this is that it seemed pretty even between Oceania, Sam, Mina. I'll get into that more at the end, but Furia took them out, and considering that they were coming off of the regional win, really tough for FaZe Clan there. Team Secret, that miracle run didn't last very long. They got swept by Optic, but I think Team Secret's slowly building. They're doing just a little bit better every time. I think they keep working. They're gonna really start to keep moving forward. But you're in the SAM region. You're still a minor region, and you gotta, get more adjusted to playing with the big dogs, I guess. Moist Esports, I mean, you could say the same thing goes for Pioneers. Great showing, honestly. Really good for them to, I think, beat BDS. I think not getting O2'd out of this tournament was good for a lot of these minor regions, because I think a lot of people were expecting that. APAC, obviously, not to be an APAC hater, but it was rough for them. The Moist, they're a good team, so, I mean, that was a tough lower bracket. I mean, it was just crazy. G2. At this point, in lower bracket round 2, we have lost our EU, our 1 seed in the EU, and NA from this past split. Defending major. Both of these guys were defending major champions. Well, one was the fall and one was the winter. They're both out. I mean, I don't know what G2 is doing. They just didn't look very good at all. And now people are saying that JKnaps should retire. I think JKnaps has never really been the problem whenever they lose. I always like the way JKnaps plays, but I think he did seem a little bit slower. But again, worlds are coming up. They're locked in for it, so Pioneers, man, I should have really looked at this a couple of times to really understand what I'm talking about. A little scuffed, but I don't know if they're in or not. Team Secret, I know, is in Worlds. FaZe is in Worlds, so not too many crazy things here happen. I think most of the people that were sitting at home, really just sitting at home, you were in a bad spot. Unless you were in the SAM region, the club. It's pretty good for them. So anyways, let's go in. I think let's get into this day. I don't know what day this was, but I'm gonna go through upper semi and lower three. I think that was the third to last day or second last. I don't know. But Carm Corp plays a tight game against a tight series against Version One, going all the way to 7. Fell down. I mean, really, I don't think anyone expected. I think people wouldn't have been surprised if Carm Corp went 0-2. So I think them to even get that far. I think what is it, top 6 or top 6? Yeah, guarantee was really good for them. Nothing to be ashamed about with that. Now going on to Space Station Falcons. My goodness, I'm a Space Station fan. I can't lie, guys. And they were so close. They're so close. I think they were reverse sweeping them, and they just got close and just break your heart. It was so tough. But Space Station I think has secured Worlds at this point. So I mean, I wasn't too tripped up. I thought they would, they could have a chance to come back in the lower bracket. But that was I mean, maybe I'm underselling the Carm Corp, but I'm overselling this because I paid more attention. I really need to pay more attention when I'm watching these, but that was tough. That was tough. Then we go lower round 3. Furia taking out Optic. I think that was a very surprising move, and as most people know, Optic was the former MV roster. But Furia really, I mean, so impressive. So impressive. Moist took out Team Liquid, but hey, they went to 5. I mean, that's nothing to slouch at with Team Liquid. Great first major for them. Really great first split. I mean, this team is going to be, again, I was saying earlier, it's going to be so, so good. I think you can expect a ton out of them in the future. I think they're going to be a consistent major team next year. I think they've gotten their toes wet. They're in it. I think they're going to be playing with the big dogs more often. So then we move up to the lower quarterfinals. Carm Corp against Furia. Furia, great run. But Carm Corp with I think really just more experience with like Nolly. Came in, got in 7. And Furia, we'll see them at Worlds. They're good. I think they're a real deal. They really are they're helping put in minor regions along with Team Falcons, especially, but mainly the SAM region. They literally got another wildcard spot for the region. And I think that's so impressive. For SAM to have 3 teams, really great. Excuse me while I get a little drink of water here. Because we gotta get Moist for Moist Esports over here. I do like Moist, but this was tough from Space Station. They had it. With like 9 seconds left, they scored the go-ahead goal. I was like in the back. I was so happy. I was like, whew, I think we can breathe a little. But something in the back of my head, it was just the Space Station, just the way that they play, that something would happen. And immediately on kickoff, they had probably the worst kickoff. I mean, I didn't really see all the other kickoffs, but I think the biggest choke of the major, and just let in a goal and lost in overtime. I mean, that was heartbreaking. I'm such a big Space Station fan. I hope they can get their ice together because they are just not clutch in these moments, it feels like. But they'll be at Worlds, and I think hopefully. I really think Daniel's so good. I'm surprised how like kids. Same with Team Liquid. How like kids that are younger than me. I'm 17 and kid's like 15, and he's just, I don't know how he does it. Like that's but it's an energizing environment. And Space Station is a LAN team. Whenever they make LANs, I think they do good, but they need to clutch up more, and they gotta really just get hot quicker. They take way too long, and they'll have a bad couple first few games, and then they'll get a timeout, turn around, but it's just not enough. You gotta have that momentum from the very beginning. But we'll see. We'll see what comes time in Worlds. You know, we've got about a month from now, a few weeks. So hopefully they can get that together. I know they're playing another tournament. There's another tournament going on. I don't know if I'll really talk about that because it's a little wacky. Just with teams and all. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know if I'll watch it or not. But Championship Sunday. Version 1 and Team Falcons. Version Falcons and 7. Second place secured by Falcons. In their first, I know they had, when they were Sandrock, they came top 8, but that was not with their full strength. Full strength, second place. This is a World's title contender right here. They could win. They could win RLCS. I'm serious. I think they're that good. And they proved it in version 1. The fans were all the fans were hyped to see them go down, and really great run for them. Really, they've kind of came out of nowhere this year and been really good. So now we go to lower semifinals against Karm Corp and Moist. Moist I think Karm Corp, I don't know. Moist has had this immaculate lower bracket run. And, as you probably saw, spoilers, it was a really good run. And Karm Corp just, this is great. I think they're going to be in Worlds, and really came out of nowhere in this split, and they almost choked the major, but I'm excited. This is an exciting little wild card could play spoiler to some big teams. They did in this major. I think they're going to do it again in Worlds. But Moist moves on to go against version 1, and version 1, I think it was the crowd, really. I think there was just so much heat on them, mainly on Com, which, people took it too far, obviously. I think it was kind of a bummer. But, that's sometimes the way it is. Some people are like, well, so you can't have personality. Yeah, well, athletes get booed if they're not very well liked. That's the way it is. So, people didn't like version 1, and they went down to Moist, and Moist finds themselves in the grand finals against Team Falcons. I thought Moist would have been out. I think against Space Station, I think everyone with that 9 seconds left thought they were done, and incredible lower bracket round. Team Falcons, they've just been cooking. Really great to see. So we get into the first best of 7, right? Team Falcons, all they need to do is win 4 games. Easier said than done, though. They play a really tight series and lose in 7. And then, I wanted Falcons to win. Honestly, out of all the regions, I wanted Space Station for NA, Moist for EU, Falcons for MENA. I just like them. Sam, I guess Furia, bandwagoning a bit. And then I wanted Pioneers with Oceania. So I kind of sound like a bandwagon, but that's just teams I like the personality on those teams. But yeah, it goes to the second best of 7, and Moist, bro. Let me get another sip of water real quick, because oh my goodness, they 4-0'd. I think it was the experience, and I think it was the pressure that got to Falcons. They didn't really show it. They never really showed it throughout the entire major. But I think you could just tell. And it's the first time I think Team Falcons looked human, to be quite honest, because they've won everything. They won all of their regionals. They didn't really get to participate in the winter major, and fall major they weren't at full strength. But I think this team is scary, and I think they are going to be a really big problem. I think I don't know. Rocket League changes every year, but I love these minor regions, and I think it's really gonna make things interesting. I think NA and EU's gotta start actually really just preparing more, because these minor regions are hungry. Because and NA and EU have stood at the top, and they are still standing at the top technically. But these minor regions are coming out, and they're no joke. So, but Moist, what a lower bracket round. They came from the lower bracket round 2. They had to play 1 series, 2, 3, 4, 5 just to get back, and then they had to win a best of 7, and then they not only just won the major, they swept Falcons in that second series. Falcons looked done, and I know Moist Critical had to be going insane. What a great pickup for him. What a great investment by him. Moist Esports came out and did their thing. A lot of credit to them. That was a really good showcase and strength and test of the mental for them. So, good for them. Now, I know this is a spring major reaction, but we're going to look at finals. This is insane. An insane deal right here. We are about to... I think I'm so excited for this. First year really watching Rocket League competitively, and I think we're set up to see a fantastic major. So let's get into seeded into group. Who's guaranteed to, I think, make it to the crowd or whatever? I don't know. Who's in the group stage? Alright, so the guys who have been the iciest. G2. G2 really came alive towards the end of the winter split and all the way through. Really disappointing major for spring, but they were the winter major champions. So, and the number 1 seed in NA. So don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them at all. I don't think anyone's sleeping on them. One bad major doesn't determine everything. But I'm going to skip over FaZe Clan real quick. It can show how a downfall can be. And NRG really must perform. They didn't even make this major. First time Garrett G has not been in a major. NRG, the most known team with so many legends. RA, Justin, Squishy, Garrett G. What's not working? Is the game getting too fast for him? You don't know. But I say if they don't perform well in this major, a roster move is going to be made, and it's going to be tough to make that roster move because who you move? Personally, I'd say it'd be Squishy, but that's all in the off season, and I don't know how much I'm gonna go over the off season. Lawler, he's good with these videos. Reason why I'm even making these videos, he's my inspiration for this. FaZe Clan though, the number 2 in NA, this came out really towards the end when NRG flopped. NRG was number 1, first, third, and they just fell off. And FaZe is here now. We'll see. Honestly, if I be honest, I'm not a big FaZe fan. I'm not a big First Killer fan. Everyone likes to hate on version 1. Personally, I'm not a big FaZe fan. And this may be more opinionated, I think FaZe Clan is overrated. I think that they can get very individual, like First Killer can get really, he just ball chases. I think that's something people gotta watch out for. I think if you see FaZe flop, I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I think they're gonna prepare more though, because they had a bad major. So I think by any result, really, I wouldn't be surprised if they win the whole thing. I'd be a little surprised if they win the whole major. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them get out really early. So we're gonna really have to see what they got. Now going to EU. Moist really killed it in these majors when it counted. I believe they are the number 1 EU seed heading into this. I don't know if I'm reading this order right. I'm just kind of guessing because of the way they're ordered on Wikipedia. But momentum's riding high. They just gotta not let this major get into their heads too much and just focus on Worlds, because that's what really matters at the end of the day. Yeah, you get big money for winning the majors and winning regionals, but legends are made at Worlds, and that is what's going to matter the most. And they just got to stay dialed in. I think they could. I mean, obviously they can do it. Team BDS though, I think, have looked so human in these past couple majors. During regionals, they look unstoppable, but then these past couple majors, they've been bad. And I think people might sleep on them a little bit, but I think everyone thinks BDS is so good, and on the biggest stage, are they going to perform? They haven't so far, and they haven't even played in front of a crowd yet, let alone a world championship crowd, with everything this whole season's led up to this point. I just don't know if they can handle it. Endpoint. So they did make it. I was being silly, but they have to work hard as the 3 seed for EU. Very fortunate, I think, to hold on to that. But they gotta figure it out, because that was a really poor showing to just get really swept like BDS out of it. Thing is, BDS is known and has the respect to be very good. I don't think Endpoint necessarily might have that. So we'll see. But I don't know. I don't think Endpoint's gonna go very far, but I think they deserve the Worlds. But we'll see. We'll see what we get from them. Sam, Furia. I think unfortunately the Falcons have stealed most of the hype of the minor regions, but Furia has come out here and been so good. It's not even a joke. They have been so good, and I think they can make some real noise in Worlds. I think because they don't have the high expectations like a Falcons or BDS. And I think no one's realized it, but they are going to do this every time until people put some respect on them. I think they're going to come out and surprise them. Team Falcons. I mean, we already know Falcons. Kind of a disappointing way to end. I think you would have liked to win the major. I think they really had that, and they kind of just choked it away. But they're going to be back with vengeance. Now let's look at Wildcard. Alright. NA. Let me get a drink, because, jeez, this is a lot to talk about. Version 1. I mean, I think you like to get out of Wildcard, but even if they don't, great season. But I think to be where they are, to be a top Wildcard team, is really impressive, I think. So good. Very, very good for them, and, you know, I don't think they're going to be rooted for very much, but I think if, I don't know, take it a bit more seriously and dial back on some of the trash talk, I think they might actually, they're a force to be reckoned with. I think they just keep building momentum. Space Station. Space Station. Please get some ice, Space Station. Please. They just need to. They can win Worlds. No one's really expecting them, but they can. They can do it out of nowhere. If they peak, they gotta peak. I mean, everyone's gotta peak. But them especially, I think, if they get to the crowd, nothing's stopping them. The energy's gonna be so high, and it's gonna be amazing. And I think we should really be excited to see what they can do. But they just gotta clutch up more. Optic Gaming, I don't know, we'll see. There's a lot of questions around that team. They still don't know who's really playing when man, who was it, was flying in late. Turbo Pulse almost played, and you know we're gonna see what roster they go with. I think they're gonna keep the same that they had, but you could always see something change. You never know. Dignitas, Dignitas. Legendary. Why am I forgetting? Legendary Org, but man, they have fallen off a cliff. They are the EU equivalent to NRG, and they got figured out. I mean, they look in their own heads all the time. They look like they do more than what they actually can. When they're clicking, they're one of the best teams in the EU, but they have not clicked in months. So we're gonna have to really see what they got. Karm Corp, I think being here is so impressive. I'm a little surprised. I just I think missing the first third of the season, I'm a little out of tune. But Karm Corp came in and had a great major and great spring split, and I think that's why they're here. I think we gotta look for them to make some really crazy moves. I think they could upset a lot of teams. Semper, I don't really know what to expect from them. I think they made the fall major, but we'll see. We'll see what they have. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for them, and I think they're going to need to bring their A game because they've been a little inconsistent. I think they're gonna be one of the teams to fall early for sure. Renegades, first time we've seen them not in a major from OCE, and now they're a wild card. Again, I don't know enough about the OCE region, but I know that they can turn heads whenever they need to. Same with the Pioneers. I think both of these we can expect about the same amount from them. I don't think we could really consider them as contenders, but I think they'll be in the mids of it, or they could be at the bottom. But we're gonna see. Going to Sam. Team Secret has made some majors. I think they're getting just a little bit better every time. That being said, I think just making Worlds is way overachieving for that region. And for this region to have 3 teams there, really good. Really impressive. Because, I don't know, I guess they're very... I didn't really anyone expected them to be that good. But Team Secret, I'm excited to see what they do. The club, we have not seen them. I don't think they've been in any of the majors. And obviously, I don't really watch these their regionals, but I'm interested to see what the club can come in and do. And we haven't seen them yet, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm excited to see them. But I don't think they have any expectations, and sometimes that's a good thing when you don't have expectations, because you can surpass them so easily. Then now we got APAC North and APAC South. Tokyo Verde Esports and Gaming Gladiators. Okay. I know I'm an APAC hater right now, but I don't think these teams are really going to do anything. Detonator, it's so hard, I guess, because only one APAC team combined can make it. So I think it was really easy for teams like Detonator to miss out on points, but I mean, we'll see what these guys have. I don't think Tokyo has been to a major yet, so we'll see what they have in big pressure situations, but not really expecting that much from them. Velos Esports, now we're going to Mina. Wasn't really, don't think we saw them or O1 Esports in the major. By the way, if you can hear some dogs barking, sorry about that in the background. But I mean, these teams can come out. I'm looking at the same way I look at like the club. I mean, these teams can perform. I think they'll have a shot at it. I mean, everyone has a shot at it, but we'll see. I'm a bigger believer in the MENA region, then the APAC region. Then we got the SSA region. No, don't know what to expect. I think we can have high expectations for Orlando Pirates because I think they've been really good. From what I know, they've been really good. I think we could see them be not just like the Falcons, but I think we could see a Falcons type run from them. Bravado Gaming. Hopefully they all get their visa because I know that they were having visa problems. Don't really know what to expect from SSA. I think we're gonna really see what SSA has. I really hope that next season they get SSA to some majors because I feel like it's kind of a bummer when these guys, and I think it's a little unfair when these guys don't get to play against the top teams in the world. Obviously they play the top teams in the region, but in the world it's just a different animal, and I think we want to see them really build a name for themselves. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. A little bit of a long one, just me talking and talking and talking, giving my thoughts. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. If you want to catch this gameplay that you've seen on screen, you can. Oh my gosh, that was a whiff. But you can see that on my Twitch at R1019, same as the YouTube. Will be linked in the description. Podcast is out now. First episode has been live for maybe a few days by the time you see it, or today if I get this all done today, which I don't think I will. But it's been live for a few days since the 8th. And yeah, go check that out. If you like my videos, you'll probably like my podcast. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.